we are immersing ourselves in the arcane world of spellweaving.
Our mission is custom tailored for you, the solo learner, and we're looking specifically at the UO Alive server. We're going to skip the history lesson and just jump straight into what you can do right now. First thing you have to understand right from the get-go is that this isn't a skill you can just pick when you start a character. You can't.
It's a prize.
Yeah.
You have to earn it. You have to prove your worth to the elves in Heartwood and Sanctuary.
Right. It's a privilege, and the game makes you work for it. The journey is multi-stage and very specific. You get 2 main quest paths to choose from to get that spellweaving book. We'll call them, say, the Patience Path and the Discipline Path.
The Patience Path. That starts with a luva in Heartwood. And it kicks off simply enough, right? Gather 20 miniature mushrooms, but you're on the clock.
Yeah.
An hour.
Yeah, it's a pretty low-stakes sprint to start, but it ramps up fast.
And no matter which path you choose, they both share the same middle part.
Right, the procurement stages. You got to gather 10 bales of cotton, 250 boards, which means a lot of chopping, and then collect a sack of flour, 10 jars of honey, and 20 fish steaks.
It's a whole test of your resourcefulness, not just your fighting skills.
Exactly. The final challenge is where it gets tough. You have to slay a specific mix of creatures, these unnatural creations.
Right, the 5 Exodus Overseers and 2 Exodus Minions. And this is where a lot of unprepared players just hit a wall.
They absolutely do.
Hold on, because there's a trick to it. You have to use a specific type of spell just to break their shields, right? I mean, that's a massive gear check, especially for a new character.
It is absolutely critical. Those Overseer shields, they're basically immune to physical attacks and most normal magic. They have to be broken with an energy attack.
So like energy bolt or an energy vortex.
Exactly. If you don't have a plan for energy damage, you are just hitting a brick wall. It's a knowledge check disguised as a combat challenge.
Okay, so the alternative is the Discipline Path. That one starts with Cooley and Sanctuary. It's a bit more traditional at first.
Yeah, the classic kill 50 rats task. Again, you have an hour. But the final challenge, the Human Blight, it takes a darkly humorous turn.
This is the ear collecting part.
This is the ear collecting part. You have to collect 30 severed human ears. They drop from hostile humanoids, like brigands.
It's just such a wild tonal shift. You know, in the middle stages, you're gathering sweet honey and flour, and then suddenly you're running around like a serial killer for the elves.
It makes for a good story, at least.
It does.
But once that last ear is turned in, or that final Overseer drops, you get your reward. The Spellweaving book itself, plus 2 really important starting scrolls, Arcane Circle and Gift of Renewal. You're officially in. Your spellbook still has some blank pages when you get it.
Right.
You can buy the almost full book from the Stone Exchange on the new Player Stone. It's a great head start.
Almost full. What's the catch?
The catch is that the purchase book is missing the 2 big summon spells, Summon Fae and Summon Fiend. Those are strictly quest-locked. You have to earn them.
Let's start with the utility one, Summon Fae, the friend of the Fae chain.
This one starts with Siniva in Heartwood. It's pretty simple at first. She just sends you to buy some beads from a jeweler and a jar of honey from a baker.
And that takes you to Ilshanar.
Yes, that kicks off the next part. You take a gift to Ariel the Fae, who's near the Spirituality Moongate. Once she accepts it, you're on to the final part, Alliance.
Which is the combat trial.
The combat trial. You have to kill 20 Reapers. They're all over the place near the Justice Moongate, so it's not too hard to find them. Finish that, and the Summon Fae scroll is yours.
Okay, that's 1 down. Now for the big combat summon, Summon Fiend.
This one's a bit more aggressive. It starts by making you slay 50 imps. My advice: go to the Abyss Champion spawn. The very first wave is full of them. You can knock that out fast.
And after the imps?
A weird little scavenger hunt. The quest is called Cracking the Whip, and you need to get a stout whip.
Where does that drop?
It only drops from orcs in the Tukuno Desert area. It's a bit of an annoying diversion, but you have to do it.
And the last step.
The final step is to slay 1 arcane demon. You can find one right outside the Exodus dungeon, kill it, and the Summon Fiend scroll is yours.
And it's worth noting, right, that on this server, the 2 summons are balanced to be equally powerful.
They are, so it really just comes down to which one you think looks cooler.
Okay, so that brings us to the mechanics. We're initiated, we have our book. What makes this school so different from the, mad tree we're used to?
This is where it just fundamentally breaks the mold. Rule number 1, and this is the greatest gift to the solo player: spellweaving does not consume reagent.
Path.
It turns the whole economy of magic on its head. And rule number 2, which is just as important for your gear setup: casting a spellweaving spell does not clear your hands.
Which means
you do not need the spell channeling property on your weapon or shield.
So that frees up a critical modification slot for something like
For more damage or resist or mana regen, it's a massive quality of life boost, especially when you're trying to balance a solo template.
So here's where it gets really interesting.
Hey.
Let's talk about equipment effects, the jargon.
Yeah.
We need to know what actually makes our spells hit harder.
Absolutely. Okay, so Spellweaving is affected by faster casting, or FC, up to a cap of 4, and faster cast recovery, FCR, up to 6. Those are your speed stats.
And damage.
Crucially, spell damage increase, SDI, absolutely will boost your damage. That is your main lever for making your spells more powerful.
But what doesn't work is just as important, right? Because I know Slayers and Inscription are massive for other magic schools.
They mean nothing here. Inscription skill has 0 effect. Slayer properties, also 0 effect. This is a huge departure from other combat magic. It means your template can focus purely on defense, speed, and raw SDI. You don't need to collect a dozen different Slayer weapons for every boss.
And now we get to the solo learner's secret weapon, the UO Alive enhancements that fix the whole group problem.
Right. Traditionally, you needed a whole focus group, a party of Arcanists, to get peak power.
And here?
That entire paradigm is gone. On UO Live, you get the maximum arcane focus bonus automatically. You don't need any other players. This instantly makes Spellweaving a top-tier solo skill. You're always running at 100%.
Even better is the access. You don't have to go find some obscure location.
Nope. Any pentagram, abattoir, or the arcane circle itself, even ones you can craft, will automatically give you the maximum focus level you need for your arcane crystal.
And for that ultimate convenience detail.
There's a permanent gate right at the Trammel Britain Bank. It takes you directly to the Arcanist Circle in Felica. It's a one-stop shop.
So you just gate in, get your buff, and gate right back out. It's that easy.
It's that easy. It's why this is such a powerful solo template. They took the biggest, most frustrating barrier, the social dependency, and just removed it.
And a quick note on balance, they also adjusted the summons.
Yeah, Summon Fiend and Summon Fae, they're essential for training and just general play. They're now equally powerful, so you can just pick whichever one you think looks cooler. You don't have to worry about the stats.
So this all hinges on this engine of power, the arcane focus system. If Spellweaving is the car, the focus crystal is like a massive turbocharger.
That's a great way to put it. The crystal is the core. You make it by casting Arcane Circle while standing on one of those mystical locations. Once you have it, it's a timed buff, lasts from 1 to 10 hours. You just have to remember to refresh it.
So what does this buff actually do? Why is it so critical to always have it active?
Its purpose is straightforward, but comprehensive. It enhances all your other spell-weaving spells. This is where the skill really scales. We're talking tangible boosts to duration, more damage, better healing, and a bigger area of effect for your AoE spells.
So without the focus, you're using maybe half the skill's potential.
At best. And just to hammer home the UO Alive advantage one more time, you automatically get the maximum focus strength. You never have to worry about finding a group or multi-boxing. Maximum power is guaranteed the second you create that crystal.
All right, now that we understand the rules and how to get max power instantly, let's talk training. The roadmap. How do we get from 0 to 120 as efficiently as possible?
Okay. We're looking for the lowest mana cost spells that give consistent gains. Preparation here is key, though. This isn't just mindless casting.
It's a sequence.
It's a sequence. From 0 to 20, you're just casting Arcane Circle over and over on one of those mystical locations. It's your foundational spell.
Okay, 20 to 33.
You switch to Immolating Weapon. The key thing here is you have to actually be holding a melee weapon when you cast it. If you don't, the spell fizzles, and you just wasted mana.
Right. And the next jump, 33 to 44, this one requires some specific gear.
It does. You move to Reaper form. This spell has a high base mana cost, and to sustain casting, you must be wearing at least 40% lower mana cost gear. LMC.
Wait, LMC, lower mana cost. Why is 40% mandatory? Can't I just get by with less?
I mean, you could, but you'll burn through your mana so much faster than you can regen it. It turns this training part into a long, slow grind with constant waiting. Hitting 40% LMC makes it sustainable and efficient. It's a mandatory gear check for fast training.
That's excellent advice. Okay, moving on, 44 to 74.
From 44 to 74, you're relying on your new balanced friends. Just cast either Summon Fae or Summon Fiend repeatedly. They're reliable, mid-tier mana burners.
And then from 74 to 90.
You move on to Wildfire. Now, the crucial trick here is a little counterintuitive. You target the spell on yourself.
On yourself.
On yourself. You avoid taking any damage that way, but you still get the skill gain from the cast. It's a clever way to grind without needing a healer constantly.
I like that. Okay, and the final push, 90 to 120.
It's all Word of Death. This is your final push. It's mana intensive, it's powerful, and you will need some form of periodic healing while you chain cast it to get to Grandmaster. Maybe grab a friend, or use a pet that can cast Gift of Renewal on you for this last stretch.
So with the skill mastered, let's look at the arsenal. What do you actually get to do, especially in a solo environment?
Okay, on the offensive side, Word of Death isn't just for training. It's your massive finisher. At max focus, it can execute a target that's below a 30% health threshold. It delivers devastating damage that scales perfectly with your SDI. It's like a magical guillotine.
Nice. Then you have Thunderstorm, which is great for interrupting enemy casters. It's a huge utility game when you need to shut down incoming spells. And Wildfire, that's your area denial tool, right?
Exactly, a devastating AoE fire field. Perfect for clearing out groups of weaker stuff quickly.
And for defense and healing.
Gift of Renewal is your main tool. It provides sustained passive healing. It's a great background buff to have up, but there's a critical warning that every solo Arcanist needs to know.
Which is?
It is immediately canceled if you get poisoned.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that is a massive tactical vulnerability. That means in any fight against something that can poison you, if you're only relying on Gift of Renewal, you better have a plan B.
You have to. You need antidote potions or a dedicated healing source, or you're looking at a quick death. You can't assume it'll save you in those fights.
Good to know. And Reperform.
Reperform is great. It boosts your swing speed and your SDI, gives you some handy resistance boosts too. The only downside is you can't be mounted, so it's strictly for when you're in combat, not for traveling around.
And now for utility and control, there are two spells that really stand out to me. Ethereal Voyage.
Turns you into a mere mage, and most monsters will just ignore you. It is invaluable for getting through dangerous areas or just evading trouble.
But not foolproof. The biggest named bosses can still see through it, right?
Yeah, you gotta be careful. It's not a true invisibility cloak against the top-tier threat it's meaning.
And finally, let's touch briefly on the mastery abilities, the really top-end stuff.
Right. You've got Enchanted Summoning, which buffs the health and stamina of your summons, making your Fae and Fiends much tougher.
Yeah, Mana Shield.
A crucial toggle. Incoming damage gets absorbed by your mana pool instead of your health. It gives you huge survivability, but it costs you your casting fuel. And then there's Summon Reaper, which calls up a powerful stationary ally to guard a spot.
So wrapping up this deep dive, the value for a solo player on UO Alive is, it's undeniable. Spellweaving is uniquely powerful, it's reagent-free, and by removing the need for group focus, it just becomes incredibly accessible and viable for a solo learner.
It really does. So we've seen the power of these spells, right? The permanent charms from Dryad Allure, instant max focus, the execution damage from Word of Death.
That is definitely something to mull over while you're out there, gathering those human ears. We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.